Welcome to the morning show with Jennie and Davis. I totally didn't hit record
Ah!
10 minutes into the video. Whoops. Sorry, Caleb. My bad.
It's a Monday. We'll fix it for Tuesday.
We've been live for 13 minutes. So 13 minutes, Caleb. Add 13 minutes to whatever. Or subtract 13 minutes. I'm sorry, friends. Thank you for the reminder. It's Monday morning. I lost my voice. We're just happy to be here.
Yep.
All right, Jennie. Lead us through what's in your mug.
Yes. I will start off.
Okay.
I have something different today.
Ooh.
I do not have coffee. I'm finally trying the matcha green tea that Caitlin brought in.
Fancy.
I didn't know it had a little bit of... Caleb! Oh, no.
Sorry.
Caleb's so angry.
We interrupt what's in your mug for Caleb because he was watching and now he's lamenting because I didn't hit record. Sorry, bud.
Sorry.
My bad.
So bad.
Anyway, what's in your mug? You're trying what? Matcha tea?
Yes. I didn't know it had turmeric in it. Apparently it does. I'm not like upset by that. I don't mind it. I like turmeric and it's also very good for you. But I'm curious. How do coffee shops make it so green? Like I think it's more powder.
Probably green dye.
Yeah, it's more of like a green powder, but I added some oat milk and it's actually pretty good. I just wasn't feeling coffee today. It sounded a little too strong and intense.
Nice.
I'm not a tea person though.
My face.
Oh my gosh, I didn't hit record.
Oh my gosh. We need to remove that. Oh my gosh. That's embarrassing.
Yes.
Ugh.
What's in your mug?
What's in my mug? I've just got pecan praline coffee, as we discovered in the first episode of the morning show with Jennie and Davis. We took a poll, and it's actually pronounced pecan, like I knew it was from the start. So,
agree to disagree.
That face is perfect. I guess it is perfect for the situation. Forgot to hit record. So that's funny. Death Wish coffee.
Death Wish coffee.
Oh man, we used to drink so much stuff on alert in the missile fields. So if you don't know. Back in the day, I was a nuclear missile operator. You know, in the movies when the president calls the guy in the underground bunker who's ready to launch the nukes, that was me. I did that job for a little bit, and so to do night shift, we had to stay awake, and so we were trying all manner of different coffee. That's where a lot of us really liked Black Rifle Coffee Company because all their coffee was 2 or 3 times the caffeine of normal coffee. Anyway, it was a really unhealthy job, bad work environment, bad people, bad work environment, bad culture.
But we're here now.
So I'm excited. But we used to try Death Wish coffee. That was pretty good. Yeah.
They make lime cucumber Gatorade?
What?
You
know, the best thing I've ever had to drink was cucumber Sprite.
Yes.
At the Chris Mason knows what I'm talking about. So in Atlanta at the Coca-Cola factory, you do this tour.
For Workbench Con, right? Yeah.
Yep. And then at the end of the tour through the Coca-Cola factory, there's this little island place, and there's just I don't know, 200 soda dispensers.
The fountains where they're a circle and it's got probably 20 different sodas for you to try. They were everywhere, and they were separated, I think, by region. So, each country had their own, soda fountain with the most common, sodas that they served there. And I don't know, where was the cucumber
Russia.
Sprite? It was
from Russia.
I thought it was from Russia.
It was cucumber Sprite, and it was delicious. It wasn't too sweet.
No. It tasted like cucumber water, but carbonated.
And slightly sweetened. It was just, it was so good.
It was really good.
It was really, really good.
Oh, my gosh.
Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew is a thing? What?
Ugh.
That sounds gross. That just sounds gross.
Ooh.
I saw they've got a new raspberry flavored Mountain Dew.
That might not be bad.
Yeah.
But Flamin' Hot, oh my gosh.
I do like me some Mountain Dew. That's my guilty pleasure. If I'm going to go for soda, Baja Blast from Taco Bell, man.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I was about to say the regular Mountain Dew, I could never get into that. It was just too much.
Oh, really?
And the yellow coloring freaked me out. I thought it looked funny.
Wow.
I don't know. Just the taste, I couldn't do it. I'd prefer Sprite or something like that. I don't know.
Do you think we'll go back out to Workbench Con? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
This year it wasn't in the cards, but we'll see what it looks like in the future. But I don't know.
Maybe.
I would like to. I would very much like to. Cool. So, what's in your heart's mug, though, Jennie? What are you emotionally carrying into today?
Just tired.
Just tired?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell.
Yep. How about you?
this morning. You forgot your water bottle this morning in the car. It was like the first thing.
I forgot everything. We forgot to pack lunch. I forgot my water bottle in the house. Like, forgot everything. But that's okay.
But we woke up on time. We went to the gym, and we made it here on time. So
yes,
I'm happy.
The fact that we made it to the gym was amazing.
Yep. So we did our morning routine. A couple things slipped through the cracks, but that's okay. I mean, that's what you get. Like, it's okay if you like. That's the whole point, right? Is you set systems in place where, like, when you forget something, because you know you're gonna forget something,
yeah,
at least you get the important things done. You forget the little things.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you forgot your water bottle is not the end of the world. Like, we have water here. It's, so we did the important stuff. How are we adjusting to not working in the garage? Oh my gosh. Thank you for that question.
Very well.
We are so much more productive. I think this is another hot take, Caleb. I think that in a year from now, everybody who was like negotiating for like part-time work or working remotely or working from home is going to like ask to go back into the office. A lot of these corporations are selling their corporate office space because everybody's working from home. And I think that for a lot of people, that is not the way to work. Anyway, we found from working from home the last 2.5, 3 years, even before COVID like really kicked off, for us, working from home is such a nightmare. There's no separation between work and play. There's no way to vent. Like, we're always on. And so when we were working from home in the garage, there was always something to do. There's always something to do, especially if you're starting your own business or for those of us that it's hard to draw boundaries between work and life. It's miserable. And so I think that in a couple of years, you're going to start to see all these companies like roll back all their work from home stuff because the employees are going to demand differently.
Yeah.
Anyway, I say all that to say, since we've moved into this garage, we've been more productive, even though we've spent fewer hours working on the business. We're just so much more efficient. When we come here, we get work done and we go home, and we're more efficient.
I think home's gotten even more relaxing too, because there is no work at home anymore. We don't even have like lights.
We don't allow ourselves to do it. Yeah,
like we couldn't film at home. There's nothing to do with any like cutting boards or tables, nothing at home. We don't even have like laptops at home anymore. If we want to do something, we've got to be able to do it from our phones. So that's been nice.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but I miss the people and friends. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
You're going to miss the social aspect. And to be completely honest, most people use work as, the hub for their social life. Yeah. They have friends from work. I mean, I know we did when we were in the military full time. Like, all of our friends were work friends. We made very few friends in the community. I mean, we had a couple friends at church and stuff, but like, I would say 80 to 90% of our friend group was from work. It's going to be huge for a lot of people. Justin said his wife just finished up radiation. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Congrats.
Great work.
Wow.
It's
exciting.
That's tough. She's a trooper for sure.
Yeah.
Congratulations, y'all. Yeah. So I don't know. I sort of feel not overwhelmed, but like is about to get busy. We got hurricane season coming up.
Yeah.
Caleb's about to go on a mission trip for a month, so we got to balance his work schedule. Business is growing, all good things. It's just, man, we've got a lot on our plate. So today, for whatever reason, that's what I'm just feeling overwhelmed. So a little spoiler for the spirit part at the end, but like, I feel like I'm carrying a little bit too much on that. So, yeah. Anyway,
that's okay.
So that's what's in our mug. That's I should have said this at the beginning. That's a segment that we do. It's like, how do we start the day? Because where we go from here is up to us. Yes. So we want to acknowledge it instead of trying to suppress it. Because when you try to suppress your emotions, they come out when you don't want them to. So let them come out on your terms and process them accordingly. So that being said, there's a couple things that we like to do every single day to remind ourselves of who we're trying to be, what we want to accomplish. And so what we do is we have a list of daily affirmations. We took this practice from a bunch of rich and famous people. I would not have chosen to do this, but my life is better because I have relented in my stubbornness. So we go through these daily affirmations. You just remind yourself of things you want to be, things of what you've accomplished, and you just sort of start your day on the right foot. So, Jenny, would you like to go through your list first? You can copy our list. You can start doing these yourself. Chat, let us know your daily affirmations, or at least one of them in the chat, and you can make your own list and be a better person, because as we prime ourselves in the morning with these things, hopefully we remember them a little bit more throughout the day.
Yes. If everybody shares one, then we'll have an actual list in the
Yeah.
chat for people to see and potentially copy if you are short on ideas of what to do for your own. All right. Mine are: I am intelligent. I fight for what I want. I am relentless. I am strong. I am creative. I respect people. I respect myself. I can learn. I am logical. I am fair. I'm a fantastic business owner. I am a great saleswoman. I am covered by grace. I am loved, and I am organized. T.
I like it. While you were reading your daily affirmations, Hello Yellow LLC subscribed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the prime. Appreciate you.
That.
My list. The first one, like, I don't think I've ever like publicly said this. Like, I don't hide it, but I just like never found a reason to talk about it. So my first one is I'm a pilot. I actually have my pilot's license. We get that question all the time, and I never address it, or I never answer it. But yeah, I've got my pilot's license. I got it when I was in high school. It's a program with the city where they were trying to incentivize younger kids getting involved in aviation. And so I signed up and got my license. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, I really want to get back into flying. The reason we're doing this woodworking business is so that we can have money to build and sell airplanes. So I'm excited to get back into aviation pretty soon. We're actually doing this live, so meta. We're actually doing this live stream to teach us how to live stream, so that when we start building an airplane back here, when the woodworking business grows up and gets kicked out of here to a bigger space, we can build airplanes in this facility. So, and I want to live stream that. So that's why we're doing this. Anyway.
And then we'll have so much practice. We'll be so much better at it.
I'll quit
We won't forget to hit record. We'll do all the segments like we're supposed to.
Oops. Anyway, so here we go. My list of daily affirmations. I'm a pilot. I'm a maker. I'm a businessman. I am made in the image of God. I'm able to do incredible things. I'm a man of discipline. I'm a good operator of my body. I'm good to my brain. I am building a multi-million-dollar business. I am on temporary assignment to do today's work. I will get out of my own way. I will love every person I talk with today. I will give to others from a full heart. Also, I forgot to say I love you.
I was about to say, I was like, you almost missed it.
Pilots have checklists, right? Yeah.
They do.
I remember when I was getting my license, I thought that was the dumbest thing. I was like, I don't need a checklist. I know how to fly a plane. And now I shudder at the thought that I used to like try to do it without a checklist, or like I thought it was a cool thing to not use a checklist. And now I'm like, it's not cool when you're dead. So
yeah. Or it's like, well, I can trust my brain. I'm smart enough to remember. And it's like, I don't even.
Nope.
And it's not even like the checklists are there for people who are like, oh, well, if you have to use a checklist, clearly you don't remember very well, or you're not very smart. Like, that's not even what the checklist is for. It's for when you are so overwhelmed and stressed out, or something happens that like steals your attention, you can just resort to the checklist so that you don't even have to like use your full brain. Something is literally just telling you what to do. And that's beautiful.
Oh, Yoko said, I am good enough, smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Yes!
I like it.
I'm here for it. I like you, if nothing else. That's great. I love that one. Man, so many people just think the world's out to get them, myself included. Everybody hates them. But that's just not the truth. Good.
Yes. Lord help us if a pilot's checklist requires Davis to hit record.
Yep. Well, I am. When we start flying, I'm going to have to record. So I'm going to have to hit record before we take off.
Hit record is going to be on our checklist now for like till the end of time.
Yep. Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
That's really funny.
Oh, well, those are daily affirmations. That was it. I hate that. I should have never done that face as an emote.
Yes, I'm so glad that
yours is still not approved. The Jenny has one. Let me see if it's approved.
Yeah,
yet.
see if it's approved now.
So on Twitch, there's these cool things called emotes, and they're basically like emojis, but you can make your own. And so as you subscribe or as you follow the channel, you have eligibility to use these emotes.
And that's why you see Davis's face in the chat.
Can somebody who's familiar with Twitch, can you test out a few of the better BTTV, better Twitch TV emotes? I want to see if they work. They should work because I tried to enable them. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to check to see if Jenny's face got approved.
Yeah, something about my face apparently they don't like, or they're confused about. I didn't do anything. I just looked like I gave a disapproving look. Maybe that's why they disapproved it.
It is a disapproving look.
That just means it was good. It did what it was supposed to do because it didn't get approved.
Emotes.
Today I'm going to finish 2 projects. I am putting others in front of my needs and feelings. I am organized. I am strong. I am enough. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, yours is still waiting for whatever
Why
reason.
don't they like my face?
Does that work? Nope. Oh, we got Pikachu.
Ooh,
All right,
Pikachu.
so some of them are working. Oh, mine works. Oh, yeah, looky there.
Wait, what did you do?
Yes. I wrote Cat Jam. Did you see it? You see the cat?
No, all I see is Cat Jam.
Oh, well, you probably don't
Making
have it
words.
enabled on your iPad. That's
Probably
okay.
not.
So there's this pack of emotes that's called Better Twitch TV, BTTV. You can install it in Chrome. It's really easy. But that's how you get to see. If you're looking on stream, you can see. Yeah, there we go. Got some more cat jams. I love it. Cat Jam is my favorite. That's my favorite.
Have faith.
Just the little cat just grooving.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool. That's awesome. Sweet. Well, welcome everybody. This is the morning show with Jennie and Davis. Twitch is the best place to watch if you're joining us on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere else. That's how you can get to the chat. That's how you can do the fun emotes and do cool stuff. Yes. Okay, great. I didn't know so many of y'all had BTTV installed. That's great.
Should make a Bruce Jam. Yes.
Make a Bruce jam. We are going to get a Bruce emote figured out at some point. We definitely are. So,
Hold him up to the computer in front of your webcam. Smile, Bruce.
just hold his head and
Yeah.
shake it. I have to crop my hands out. Oh my gosh. All right. So we did daily affirmations. We did. All right. So now it is time for, we didn't talk about these, but that's okay. It's a live stream. You're not supposed to plan anything.
No.
This is all off the cuff.
Of course not.
Another thing that we like to do every single day on the morning show is we like to sharpen our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. If we can improve or level up on those things once a day, if the whole day goes to hell in a handbasket, at least we got something accomplished. So we're just lowering the bar for ourselves.
Yes.
To have a good day. So I am not going to read to you in my raspy voice. Does it sound as bad as I think it sounds?
I mean, I noticed it's a little raspy, but it's nothing like major.
Oh, Josh says his wife appreciated the Gilmore Girls post.
Yes.
That's great.
That was Caitlin's idea. It was super cute. I was like, what are we going to do for Mother's Day? And I was like, oh, Gilmore Girls. Everybody loves Gilmore Girls. Anyways, you just sound a bit tired. Okay, that's not bad.
That's also fair.
That's also
fair.
accurate.
My voice is fine. Okay.
We have not done the meteorology.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. I was leading up to it.
Oh, you started talking about the book right away, and I was like, oh, we're jumping right into the book.
I didn't say book. Did I say book? I'm sorry. Oh, because I said I wasn't going to read the book. My bad. Anyway. All right. So here we go. We like to sharpen our minds, our bodies, and our spirits. So the first thing we'll start out with is our mind. So in addition to reading a book, we also like to do something we like to call the meteorology minute. Crack, boom. Is that supposed to be the lightning and thunder?
We'll get a better sound for it later, okay?
Yeah. So I got a little keypad that I can program sounds into.
Yes.
I still got to get it set up for this computer, but
yeah, it's set up for the old podcast.
just add that to the list of things to do.
Yes.
The never-ending list of things to do. But anyway, so today, what is our meteorology minute?
Meteorology minute. I was thinking we do the 3 things that you need to make up a front.
Ooh.
Because everybody hears on the news, they're like, oh, there's a cold front coming. There's a warm front coming.
But what does that
We've got
mean?
a front coming. But what does a front look like? Like, how could you figure out on your own if there was like a cold front coming, for example?
So everything, let's back up a little bit. Everything in meteorology is like a recipe. It's like a recipe card. Like if you've got all the ingredients, it will happen. So when you think about a front, what are the ingredients for a cold front, Jenny?
So I don't know if it's necessarily cold front, but I'm just going to start with like front, just in general front. So you've got to have a wind shift. So your winds have got to turn.
Of how much?
Significantly. I don't remember the degrees. What is the degrees?
You're teaching people in the meteorology minute. We got to look this up.
I just remember wind shift. I don't remember the exact degrees.
Anyway, keep talking.
But wind shift is one of the big ones. You also need a change in temperature. So your temperatures need to change, which seems pretty obvious. If you're getting a cold front, it's going to start warmer and then get colder as it passes. And you also need a pressure change, because usually you're going from high to low pressure or low to high pressure. But those are the 3 things: wind shift, a temperature shift, and a pressure shift.
Well, you get the pressure shift because of the wind. We talked about that on the last
Yeah, we did talk about it
meteorology
yesterday. But I just remember those were the 3 that like, and it depends kind of like on what map you're looking at. So there are different maps where it'll show you just pressure, just temperature, just winds. But it's really nice when you can get all three. And if you're having a hard time, like being able to tell if the winds are shifting enough, then you can just go look at the pressure. Be like, oh, well, is the pressure decreasing for me? Because that'll kind of, point me in the right direction.
Yeah. So we got a question. The lines with the triangles. Yes, the blue one is usually a line with triangles on it. That's a cold front. And the definition of a cold front is a wind shift. It doesn't necessarily need a temperature change, but usually if the wind is shifting that much, that there's usually associated a temperature change, but not always. So then the red one is a warm front.
That usually has the
it's
little
red
half
with
circles.
With the half circles. That's a warm front. Again, it's not always going to be warm air moving in, but usually it is. And that's also a wind shift. And then there's the thing called an occluded front, which is just above the level of the meteorology minute.
Yes,
So-
that's a little advanced.
It's two different air masses that are just like chilling next to each other for a little bit of a time.
And it's usually you get those once a storm system is like starting to die out, like after
Yeah.
it's finished its strongest run.
Correct. Temperature is a symptom, not a cause. So
Yeah.
it's just it's a wind shift is how you define a front.
Yep.
And then if you get any temperature change out of it, that's just bonus nachos.
Yep. That can definitely help you try to like find a front though. If you look for different like temperature changes, you're like, oh, maybe there's a front there. It looks like the temperature's
So way
shifted.
back in the day, like before computers and everything, like the meteorologists would call all the weather stations in the country. There'd be like a big phone call or whatever. You'd like, send your information, your weather station via radio or telephone. And you would plot all of it on a big map every single day, big paper map or big whiteboard with grease pencils, and you'd mark everything. And then once you got all the temperatures and the wind speeds and everything, you could see a shift in the towns. So you'd look across the United States or whatever, and you'd see, oh, their wind is all from the west and their wind is all from the north. There must be a cold front right there. And then you draw your lines and all that. So but now that we've got computers, it's a little bit easier to visualize it. We've got computer models that like calculate all this stuff that can predict it all. It's
They can
pretty
find the
crazy.
fronts for you. It's
Ooh, yes, Windy is a great app to see temperature and wind
Yes.
changes. So play around with that. Look at the winds at different heights and stuff. I was just on Windy yesterday. It's a good app.
Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
good app. But it's not perfect though. It uses the computer model. It doesn't
Right.
use real data. It uses the computer model's estimate of what the data is going to be.
Yeah.
It's a forecast product basically. So just keep it in mind. It's not perfect. But yeah, it's a really good way to
And
visualize
it's during hurricane season too. If you zoom out and you go over like to the Atlantic or the
You can
Pacific
see the
Basin, you can
hurricanes, like,
see
spinning
them
around.
as they spin up. So interesting to watch. But
Yeah. Thoughts on wind from renewable energy? I don't know much about it. Yeah, I mean, like, we're getting there. I mean, like, all these newer technologies are going to take decades and decades to refine and get to their final form. A lot of people like to poop on them now because they're inefficient and they take a while to pay off. But, like, we got to pay our dues, so to speak. I mean, the first gasoline engine, think about how much gasoline the first gasoline engines wasted. They weren't getting 80 miles a gallon like the hybrid cars are now.
yeah.
So it's going to take a long time for us to get renewable energy to where it's optimized, it doesn't harm the environment as much, and it gets to be more useful than it is costly. But we just got to do the 40, 50 years of research and development before it gets there. And a lot of people aren't willing to be patient about that. So that's my hot take. I don't really have a hot take. It'll get there. Be patient.
We're
working on it, okay? Just like the morning show.
Yes.
We're working on it.
Yes. Yes.
I'm excited. So, how can they get forecasts wrong 50% of the time? So, that's a fun statistic. I'll rant about that for a second. I would say 99% of the time, whatever the forecaster has forecasted happens. It just doesn't happen at your house.
Yeah.
If they forecast for rain, it probably does rain. It just doesn't rain right on top of your house. And everybody is looking for a pinpointed forecast from their own like 6-foot circle around them.
Right.
But that's just not how weather works. Like we know it's going to rain, but exactly where it's going to rain, it might be off by 5 to 10 miles. And if it like literally like the standard of from the public for a forecast is impossible because if it rains at your house and it doesn't rain one street over, they're going to be mad if they forecasted right. You know, there's like this whole bias system of like people are going to be really unhappy if it rains when you didn't say it was going to rain, but they will be overjoyed when it's sunny if you forecasted rain. So there's a whole lot of bias going into it
Yeah.
and all sorts of other stuff.
I think I know what our next meteorology minute is going to have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How to do,
Yep.
percentage.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yes, Happy Trees is correct. That will be the next meteorology minute.
Yes.
Cool. Nice. Well, that was our meteorology minute. Now we have the business bit.
Yes.
What is our business bit? I'm tired of talking. You talk.
So we started the business bit because obviously we run 2 businesses, and that's what our entire YouTube channel is about, and a lot of our content is running a business. So we talk about it a lot, but we wanted to have our own little like segment where we talk about it. So if you have any like business related questions or whatever, something you want to talk about, throw them in the chat. A lot of times we just pull something from the chat for the business bit. We just love talking business. Let's see, you guys have great packaging. Oh yes, I love that you took inspiration from it. Go for it. Try it on your own.
Do I get bored making the same thing over and over? Do I enjoy it and chill with music? I hate building the same thing over and over and over.
You just hate repetition. You'd
I
rather
do.
start something new, start the next
But
thing.
the fact that I hate it is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Because like that means we have a system in place. That means I'm not reinventing the wheel every time we make a sale. Like it just, to me now, I challenge myself with how many I can make at one time. That's sort of where, thanks for the
thanks,
sub.
Tim.
I really like that I'm making a lot of cutting board. Like right now, I'm making what I think is a small, like the smallest batch of cutting boards I've
What's
done
it
in a
gonna
long
be,
time.
like
It's gonna be
50?
like 65 cutting
65,
boards,
okay.
and I think that's a small batch. So I get really excited. A lot of people like to fly big planes. A lot of people like to drive big trucks. I like to make a lot of cutting and charcuterie boards at the same time. That's sort of how I stay excited. So I hate the repetition, but if I can look at a
Yeah.
giant stack, like every time I do an operation on a board or whatever, like let's say I'm rounding over the edges of a charcuterie board, something that would normally be monotonous and tedious, but like I see how fast I can do it, and then I set the board down and I'm like, that's $125.
Yeah.
And then I do it again and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
$125. I'm like, all right, I can do this.
Yep.
If I can tie it to the money. So
Yep.
got somebody spent so I think that you can spend channel points and get your message highlighted. So if you're looking at the highlighted message there,
Yeah.
I think that they spent channel points, and you earn channel points based on how long you watch. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So he was able to highlight his thing, I think, because he was watching for a long time. So he says he got 43 business card holders to make today. Lots of magnets. Yeah.
Oof.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it. Wow.
That's awesome though. 43. That's good.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, the repetition, I sort of look at the repetition now as excitement, because it's like, yes, I'm not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's hard. I see, and I love doing. I don't know if I love doing it, but I like repetitious stuff like that because I do. I just
repetitious.
repetitious.
Fergalicious.
Yes. Definitions. Whatever else is in the song. I just pop some headphones in and I'm like, yep, let's go. I could do the same thing
Yeah,
over
you like
and over.
sanding.
Yep, I like
You weirdo.
sanding. I just
Yo, weirdy.
I do. I get in a zone. I start thinking about things. I'll think through things that
Who
have been,
likes
worrying
sanding?
me.
Who likes sanding?
I like sanding. I think it's fun. It's just so soothing. It starts off so rough and like ugly, and then you sand it, and it's smooth and beautiful.
Well, everybody likes that, but nobody likes the physical act of doing it.
Maybe it makes me feel like I have control. Like, yes, I am the one that is turning this thing from rough to beautiful. I don't know.
See, I get
like
that.
it.
I get that at the planer and the drum sander.
I mean, yeah.
And that's a way
but
faster dopamine hit.
I don't
than
know.
Sitting there with
I
an
don't know.
orbital sander for an hour. Got a Festool sander. I like sanding more now. Yes, that's another thing. We bought 2 Merca sanders, Mercadero sanders, and it's just it's made me not hate sanding. Like I don't even wear. I probably shouldn't say this too loud, but I don't even wear a respirator when I sand.
with our sander,
Because
it is so
if
good.
you use the right sandpaper and you've got a really good dust extraction system, like I've tested it with like a little air meter, like there is no dust in the air. It
Yeah.
all gets sucked into the vacuum. It's pretty great.
Which is why we sprung for the more expensive like sander and dust extractor because yeah, we just don't even have to think about it. It
Mm-hmm.
works really, really well.
Yeah, lower vibration. It's much easier. So, but that's exciting.
See, more people like sanding than you think. There's a lot of people in the chat that like sanding. It is just soothing.
Jason says, "Good morning. I did not like what I walked into. I don't like sanding. It's okay.
I don't like what I walked into.
We're changing. Hey, Jason, give us an idea. I'll put you on the spot. Give us an idea for the business bit. Give us a little lesson or something we could talk about.
Oh, yes.
Business related stuff. And while you're coming up with that, Jenny is going to read our
Oh, yes.
book lesson. So we got this book. You want to tell them about it?
Yes. Okay. So the book is called Priceless, The Myth of Fair Value and How to Take Advantage of It. It is by William Poundstone. Basically, it's talking about how price is relative, what it means to us, how we're influenced by it, how we can use it to our advantage, how people use it on us against our advantage. I don't know if that's a word, but all right. So we are on chapter 10. Is this another short one? Oh, this one's long and it has pictures.
Is it really long?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 5 pages. Well, for this book, that's a long chapter, so we won't do the whole thing. But this one is called Money Pump. Are we going to do this now?
Yeah.
Are we waiting for all their business bit? All right, we'll do it afterwards.
Hang on. We can do the business bit now. So Jason said, Etsy, do or do not do? That is the question. So we're not super qualified about Etsy. You can put the book down.
I'm just holding it for later.
Yeah, but if Caleb makes a clip, people are going to be like,
that's
why is
true.
the book? All right. It's okay. We know what we're doing here. Etsy, to do or not to do. So we don't have a ton of experience with Etsy. We've just seen a lot of people in the stud stack use Etsy, come and go.
Yeah.
And we can sort of like watch it at arm's distance. And what we've observed is the people that are really successful on Etsy are people like Jason, who have a very unique product. Yeah. Jason, feel free to plug your stuff and how to find you on Etsy. But like he makes this little pairing. He actually sent us one.
Oh, we have some. Here, go get yours. So he made us each one of these.
So he made us these little pairing trays. Ours are limited edition.
Yes.
But it's a little pairing tray. And it's just got a spot for like a cup holder or a sticky note pad. And a cigar can go in the middle. So you can use these for like an office desk with like a pen in the middle, or you can use them for like a drinking thing, like have a cigar and a drink next to each other.
Yeah, like one of the glass, like highball glasses.
Yeah. I'm sure Jason's copywriting on Etsy is much better than what I just described.
Yes.
But it's a really unique product because it's something that you don't see every day. It's a very great gift. And it's really easy to get a lot of like keyword searches and stuff like that. So if you're batching something out and you've got a unique thing, I think Etsy's great. It's just really hard sometimes to know if your product is going to do well on Etsy before you post it, if you haven't sold it before, because you don't know if it's not selling because it's not a good product or a good idea.
Or you just don't have it listed well enough on Etsy. Like you don't have good enough like wording or pictures or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Designs are copyrighted too. So don't steal Jason's stuff. Which is another thing. If you do have, let's say you do invent a better mousetrap for Etsy, you've got to legally defend it. Otherwise somebody's just going to, it's probably going to happen anyway, but somebody's just going to rip you off and sell it for a lot cheaper or steal your name or your tagline or whatever. So you got to really, it's a double-edged sword. Like if you do really well on Etsy, you've also got to spend a lot of time, effort, and energy chasing down other people. Otherwise they're going to steal your business from you. So I would say that, if you're going to play in Etsy, first off, you better know that your product is going to do well. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're just going to think yourself in circles on whether or not it's your copywriting that's not good enough or your product isn't good enough.
You're going to change things you didn't need to change.
Right. And then to some extent, like you do have to pay to play. Like you got to get your ad posted to get enough people to get your store rolling and get the algorithm to pick you up. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, so many business bit ideas.
I know.
Have to save these for the rest of the week.
We'll come back and pick these up. But yeah, so Etsy is where Patron found me. Nice. So yeah, there's also upside there too. Is like if you do have all your ducks in a row and you are doing really well, you can get a really big company like Patron to come in and like pick you up and hire you to do stuff. That's awesome, Jason. Really happy for you. So yeah, like if you've got a great product and you know it's good or unique, then yeah, go for Etsy. But for everybody making cutting boards and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to stand out and be unique.
Yeah, unless you're doing something very different or you're advertising them in a very different way, it's probably hard to stand out. Also, like smaller things on Etsy, I feel like works better because they're just easier to ship. You can pack them up super quickly. Your packaging material's cheap. You don't have to send anything like by freight. Yeah, so like smaller, more unique things I think are really good for Etsy. And still try to be unique too with how you advertise them in your pictures and stuff like that.
Do you see Etsy going the way of Amazon, where larger companies are taking over the handmade niche? Kind of. So Etsy's sort of like the Airbnb or the Uber of like handmade goods.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with that is I don't think there's ever going to be enough supply. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say a product does pop off. Very few people are as good as Jason at scaling their business. It's going to get to the point where they're burned out, overwhelmed, and they're not making enough profit on the thing to do it at scale and make it worth their cost. Yeah, shipping is also going to be a really big hassle. I mean, there might be shipping companies that come out of Etsy, but I think that there's always going to be room for high priced luxury goods not on Etsy, because as Etsy gets more popular, the wealthy people are like, I don't want to go to Etsy. I want to know someone personally and have a relationship. So I think there's always going to be a market for people there. I would love to have Jason on the show. If
that would be amazing.
Jason's up for that, send us an email, man. But yeah, it's I think Etsy is really good for a lot of people just trying to make some extra money. If you're good at scaling a business, I think Etsy can really open up a lot of doors for you and be successful. But I don't know, for us, if you just want for the style of things that we do, like larger items and stuff, shipping is hard to figure out.
Right.
If you want, also Etsy does take a pretty big cut. They take a big bite out of your stuff, because when you use Etsy, you're using their audience. Does that make sense? Like, you're not building your own customer base. Your customer base is Etsy's customer base, and they're
which is why they charge you, because like, we'll give you access to hundreds of thousands of people. Just give us a cut of your, earnings, which is fine. If you have a good product and you literally just need eyes to see it, that price may be well worth it for you.
Yeah.
So.
But I also think Etsy enables a lot of people to operate at a loss. There's a lot of people on there that are not charging enough. Like, I just know by looking at their stuff, they're not charging enough for their work.
Yeah.
Which tells me that, like, okay, you couldn't buy 200 from that guy. Like, that guy cannot make 200 cutting boards. So if he ever really did get popular, he wouldn't be able to keep up demand because the prices are too low. And anyway, I would just, the business that I want to run, there's no shame on Etsy or anything else, but it's just, we're just got different priorities, and that's okay.
Yeah.
The type of business that we want to run is a high profit, high margin, luxury furniture company. And there's just not a market for that on Etsy. Most of the people on Etsy are not looking to spend that amount of money on something, even if it is handmade.
And that's the hard part too, because on Etsy, they're just going to scroll to the bottom and similar products to yours pop up. And if anybody else has it for a lower price than you do, and it's similar enough to you in advertising, in looks, in wording of the copy, like, they might choose that one. That's another like bummer of Etsy, is Etsy just wants you to check out, period. They don't really care who you check out with,
Right.
which is why you got to stand out.
Yeah, I mean, because Etsy is focused on making a sale. They don't care who the sale is with.
Right.
So if somebody's got a better product picture than you, then they're going to click off of your ad, because at the bottom where it says add to cart or whatever, there's like 4 or 5 pictures of more things.
Right.
And so if yours gets, if somebody's on your page and they're about to add to cart, and then somebody's got a better picture than you of the same or equally same item, they're going to get the sale and not you. So it kind of stinks that way, but that's Etsy's sandbox. If you want to play in it, that's what you got to do.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you. That was a great.
Yeah, that was a really good question.
Thanks, Jason. We would love to have you on the show. Yeah, it would be 5 a.m. Arizona time, unless we waited for daylight savings, because Arizona is the only state.
Oh, yes.
One of the only states that has a brain and knows how to handle
the
sun.
The sun.
Yeah. Yeah, business card holders for the kind of product is priced lower by $8 per unit, but I've only had 3 views for 1 week, no sales. Dude, what I would do is I would jack that price up, because a lot of times people filter things. They don't know what quality level to expect. So if you charge more, people are just going to automatically assume that there's a justification for the higher price. I think you would sell more.
I've also heard if you offer free shipping, you get higher priority in the searches. So
yeah, so jack up your price.
Right, make sure you're
incorporate
pricing
shipping
for that.
into it. Yep. And then people will be like, oh, business card holder for like $40. It must be much nicer.
And then free shipping, and they're like, oh, done.
Yep. Because, and here's the thing where we start to get, I got to be careful not to get too negative, but like someone looking for a deep discount is not going to be happy. They're just not.
Yeah.
Like if somebody is not prepared to spend a little bit of money on it, they're going to be way more critical. We have found that people who spend more money on something are far less critical over like the quality of the item.
Because they feel the need to justify the price to themselves. And they're like, ooh, I paid $180 for this. Look how good it is.
Right. Right. And so they want it to be nice.
Yes.
But the people that are looking for a deal, they want the most for the least. And so they might actually like your product, but then they're going to complain to you because they're just trying to get another 20% off after the sale. So you got to be careful about the people with very fixed, limited scarcity mindsets when you start advertising for a cheaper price. So that's why we say, because I think all of you, I think you would rather have 15 sales of $50 than 50 sales at $15. Right? So yeah, you're not going to sell as many if your price is higher, but at this, like, I think you could go find the people that would be willing to spend $50. And I think you'd much rather make 15 business card holders at $50 than you would make 50 at 15.
Because then think about what clients you now have in your portfolio. You have clients with money that are willing to spend quite a bit on something like a business card holder. And then if you come out with another bigger, more expensive, maybe even more profitable product, like everybody's lined up ready to buy already. Yeah. You've pre-qualified your customers.
Oh man, everybody in chat, they've learned their lesson. They know. There's some good stuff in the chat right now. Absolutely. Same way in the car business. People that paid sticker price are way happier than people that paid cheapest price. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes. Like the people that are like, I never pay full price and blah, 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 blah. Like those people are impossible to please. If I was a car salesman, like if I heard that from somebody, I would pass them off to somebody else. I'd be like, nope, you're not worth my time.
Yeah.
Like I would develop if I was a car salesman, I would develop a network of people that knew me and trusted me, and I would call and check up on them every 2 or 3 months, just ask how the car is doing. I wouldn't be irritating, but I would try to be involved in their life as much as I professionally and respectfully could.
Yeah.
And then every time that they needed a car, every 2 or 3 years, I'd be calling them, hey, anybody you know need a car? Anybody you know need a car? And then there's a relationship there. And they would be all with high net worth individuals of people that want a new car every 2 or 3 years. And I would just try to build my Ferris wheel of sales. Hey, thanks for the sub.
Oh, one community sub gift.
Oh, that was Jason. He gifted
that's so
a sub.
Sweet.
Oh, thanks, Jason. Yeah. So that's all I had on that. So now it's time to read the book. Business book. That was a long business bit.
Yes, that was. And now we got 7 minutes left, but we'll read a little bit of the book. We'll at least get into chapter 10. All right. Are you ready?
Let's go.
All righty. You ready for some big words, some SAT words? Okay, chapter 10. For psychologists, Ward Edwards could display startling insensitivity to the feelings of others. What a way to start the chapter.
Sounds like me.
Sarah Lichtenstein found him exasperating. Fresh out of Swarthmore, she arrived at Ann Arbor for graduate work with Edwards as her advisor. Edwards proposed that she collaborate on an article with another grad student, Paul Slovic. When we had written it up and were talking about the order of names to publish it under, Ward very graciously agreed to be the third name, Lichtenstein said. He suggested it was stronger than that Paul be the first author because he, being a man, would have to earn a living. The article appeared in a 1965 issue of the American Journal of Psychology, credited to Paul Slovic, Sarah Lichtenstein, and Ward Edwards. Slovic was 3 years younger than Lichtenstein. The patriarchal times dictated Lichtenstein's moves after grad school. I sort of followed hubby around for several years. Husband Ed was a clinical psychologist who took a job in Los Angeles. When he got an offer from the University of Oregon in 1966, one selling point was that Sarah might be able to land a job at the Oregon Research Institute. It was a terrific inducement, she explained. ORI was a marvelous place to work at that time. Paul Slovic was already there. He had accepted a job after graduation in 1964 and lobbied for ORI to hire Lichtenstein. The two resumed an agreeable collaboration that, among other things, studied how people assign prices to gambles. For example, a wager offers a 1 in 8 chance of winning $77. How much would you be willing to pay for the privilege of playing this bet? So a wager offers a 1 in 8 chance of winning $77. How much would you be willing to pay for the privilege of playing this bet?
What's 1/8 of 77?
Less than 10?
Yeah, $10.
Yeah, a little less than 10.
Yeah, probably less than $10.
All right, the obvious approach is to... All right, you ready? You got ahead of me. The obvious approach is to compute how much you can expect to win on the average each time you play. This comes to 1/8 times $77 or, wait for it, $9.63.
I know math.
Of course, the numbers here make it hard to do the math in your head.
I took statistics.
You read my mind. Of course, the numbers are here to make it hard to do the math in your... Of course, the numbers are here to make it hard to do the math in your head. The psychologists were interested in intuitive judgments, and they observed that the prices subjects assigned... that the prices subjects... assigned to simple bets were usually too high. People apparently paid more attention to the prize amount than to the chance of winning it. This could explain why lotteries are so popular. A lottery offers, let's say, a 1 in a zillion chance of winning $58 million. Players are essentially buying the right to fantasize about the jackpot. The 1 in a zillion is in the fine print, literally, and in the minds of players. When lottery boards want to drum up business, they raise the jackpots, not the chances of winning. Ouch. Yep. A similar phenomenon pertains to losing bets. How much would you pay to get out of a situation in which you have a 1 in 12 chance of losing $63? People are typically willing to pay more than the average loss. The dollar amount of the penalty loomed more important than the probability in their decision making. This suggests an explanation for why people buy insurance. They are willing to pay too much for coverage because they worry more about the dollar value of catastrophes than the remoteness of the odds.
All right, we're done. That's enough to talk about. We only got 3 minutes left. Okay, yes. Let me go on my insurance rant for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
If people actually did probability calculus correctly, they would buy very little insurance.
Yeah.
Just like people are so...
When you stop and think about it.
Insurance is a good product. I'm not saying... I am not anti-insurance, but I'm saying people buy way more insurance than they need. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but like they're also double paying. And a lot of time, like your credit card covers so much stuff. If you rent a car, there's probably a 90%... Read your own fine print. But like there's probably a 90% chance that your credit card covers rental car damages if you use that credit card. And they require you to have a credit card on file for incidental damages. So the fact that like people buy the extra $6 insurance policy, they're just not thinking about it. They're not scared, or they're getting scared. But yeah, it's crazy. Like so many people, it's just...
Well, and it's what's the rough cost of like a catastrophe? You know, you calculate like, okay, what would it really cost if this happened, or if I got in this accident or whatever, and then you start dividing up like how long you've been paying insurance premiums over the months and how many times you actually have gotten into catastrophes like that. Some people, bad things happened and they're, you know, they're thankful. I mean, that's why we continue to pay for insurance. But like, oh my gosh, it's crazy if you don't have the catastrophe, just how much you've been paying into it. Yeah. When you stop and think about it that way. But then again, a catastrophe, a lot of the costs are like all at once, whereas insurance at least breaks it up into smaller payments per month. So I don't know.
Yeah. But like, man, it's crazy. Like when you really start to do the probability calculus of like, okay, what could go wrong or what actually could happen? Like it's nuts. You always want, in my mind, this is how we handle insurance. You want catastrophe insurance. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like everything in here is insured. If it gets stolen or the building catches on fire or whatever, like we will get reimbursed for everything that we've lost. I'm not saying don't buy insurance, but I'm saying like all the additional stuff, like the roadside assistance, like, and again, one of your credit cards probably has some sort of roadside assistance built into it. But like, yeah, it's the extra add-ons or like the what ifs or the extra policy. I don't know. I might eat my words one day, but at the same time, like, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy that they said people would overpay to get out of the potential of loss.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that matches with what we know from like fear of loss from Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference. It's a great book. But yeah, like Apple Care, that's a big scam. Like the phone's going to break in 2 years. Like it's nice if you are a very irresponsible kind of person who like breaks your phone a lot, then yeah, for sure. Like
if for some reason you're against putting a phone case on your phone or something. Yeah.
That's just silly. But I had a friend one time in college. Remember this?
Yes.
So we went to school with a lot of international students. And one of them was a Saudi prince or something, and family had a lot of oil money, and he was there learning how to fly airplanes. And I asked him one day, I was like, hey man, I noticed that like you've always got a new phone and you never have a case on it. Like, why don't you put a case on your phone? And he looks at me dead in the eye and he says, phone cases are for poor or irresponsible people. And I am neither.
Oh.
And I was like, oh,
Okay.
Got it.
I'm just going to walk away, put my phone in its phone case back in my pocket and walk away.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, phone cases are my best friend.
Yes. So very few people have a very high risk lifestyle. And so it is just crazy to see how much money is spent on insurance on the wrong things.
Right. Because it's very useful and I do appreciate it. But man, they also have a lot of chances to overcharge you and get you a lot of things you really don't need.
Yeah. Have a catastrophe plan.
Yeah.
But also know that like most catastrophes are not like super catastrophic.
Yeah.
Like have an emergency fund. Like have 10 grand. I would say there are very few things. Have an emergency fund for 10 grand if you can save up for it. And then buy insurance beyond that 10 grand.
Yeah.
But if you can cover anything for 10 grand on your own, I would say it's probably cheaper to do it out of your own pocket. So I guess that's my litmus test. 10 grand.
Yeah.
If it's more than 10 grand, then buy insurance for it. But if it's less than 10 grand, just be responsible and take care of it yourself. So.
Yes. Interesting page and a half of that book, though. I think this is the first chapter where, like, right out of the gate, they just, like, got into numbers and probabilities and stuff. I like that.
I'm excited.
The rest of the chapter should be good. There are also some pictures in there.
Some pictures in there.
It means it's going to be extra good.
I like pictures. Pictures make reading faster.
Yes.
But yeah, that was cool. That was good. That was a good read. So now it's time to sharpen our body. We're a little over time, but we'll do this quickly.
Yes.
4 counts. You know what it is. Breathing exercise. We're all going to look stupid. Jenny's going to count us off. 4 counts in, 4 counts out. We're going to do 4 breaths total.
Okay, got it.
Ready? Go.
In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4.
Do this when you're stressed.
Do this when you're stressed. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4.
Big breath.
In, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4.
Beautiful. Man, I'm lightheaded. I can't believe I was lightheaded. Oh, last thing I heard was Saudi prince, then 10 grand. So I had a friend who was a Saudi prince. He didn't put a phone case on his phone, and I asked him why, and he looked me dead in the eye, and he said, phone cases are for poor or irresponsible people, and I am neither. And I was like, okay. And then I was basically summing up our strategy for insurance is if the catastrophe that you're envisioning is going to cost you more than 10 grand, buy insurance for it. But if the catastrophe leaves you less than 10 grand out of pocket, just take care of it on your own. I would buy that risk for less than 10 grand.
That's our philosophy.
That's our philosophy. You do your own thing.
Yes.
But that's sort of our thing for
our litmus test.
Our litmus test. So
cool. Well, that was breathing exercises. So
that was breathing exercises. And now it's time to sharpen our spirits. What are you carrying today that you shouldn't be, Jenny?
Just feeling overwhelmed because we were gone. Like, I don't know. We had a very busy weekend, and it was a lot of fun. But now I'm like, I got to jump back into running both businesses and get back into my to-do lists. And somebody asked in the Instagram chat a while ago, they're like, do you go to the shop on the weekends? And the answer is yes. Like, we'll work one of the weekend days. So the fact that we didn't work any was like mind-blowing. So that's mine. I'm just overwhelmed, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be. How about you?
I'm a little overwhelmed. I'm just like, the question I want to answer today is what's my why today? My why is like, we got some stuff to do and I'm excited to do it. And I need to use this time to double down on it. So I'm super excited. But yeah, it's been a good show. Thank you so much for showing up for the morning show with Jennie and Davis. This is the show for today. Thank you so much. Remember to sub or follow on Twitch. That's the best place to watch. Thank you, TikTok and Instagram, if anybody's still watching. Appreciate you. Facebook also. Hello.
Yes.
We try to get the podcast out and we try to get a YouTube video out of the show, but sometimes that doesn't happen. I think eventually the YouTube channel is just going to be the clips, so you have to come to Twitch to see the full show if you want. Everybody have a great Monday. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time.
All right. Bye, friends.